Very good morning, students. In the last video we have discussed a problem of trading account. So today in our video we'll start discussed the ahead of it, that is the problem of a profit and loss account. As you can see, the question number 6 we are going to discuss today. So the question number 6 says, prepare profit and loss account from the following balances extracted from the books of a trader for the year 2008. Okay, as you know, we write trading and profit and loss account as trading account or profit and loss account for the year ended, the date which is given, that is 2008 or 2009 or whatever. And I've also mentioned it in our earlier video or while preparation of trading account that whatever the result that you achieve from preparation of trading account, that you call as a gross profit or gross loss, that is being transferred to your next financial statement, that is profit and loss account, by way of brought down either in the debit side or on the credit side, depending on whether it is a gross loss or it is a gross profit. So since we are preparing this question regarding the profit and loss account only, and we do not have to prepare the trading account, the question gives us the value of gross profit. Okay, so the value of gross profit is given here. The gross profit value is of 1,85,000. Remember that if this amount or this item is not given, we cannot even prepare our profit and loss account. Okay, so this is very important item to prepare our profit and loss account. So before going to this problem or the solution of this question, let us have a proper look regarding what these items are actually. Okay, the first item is gross profit. Okay, the first item is gross profit. So gross profit is taken to the credit side of profit and loss account because it has been posted to the debit side of trading account when it was calculated. Second, the salaries. Okay, as I have discussed earlier, salaries are supposed to be the indirect expenses that has to be posted on the debit side of profit and loss account, because when we prepare profit and loss account, the first item should be either gross profit or gross loss that is brought down, and the another item that should be exist on the debit side is indirect expenses, and the item that are to be exist on the credit side of profit and loss account are supposed to be the indirect income that we have already discussed in our specimen video. Okay, so let's move ahead. We have to identify here what these items into indirect incomes and indirect expenses. The items that are of indirect expenses in nature should be taken to the debit side of profit and loss account, and the items that are existing here which are of indirect incomes should be taken to the credit side of profit and loss account. And finally the calculations will be made regarding the profit or loss in profit and loss account. Okay, so the next item is salaries. So salaries is a indirect expenses. Okay, I will tell you how it is posted and I will also show you the solution to this problem. Before that, just have a look how these items are categorized into expenses and incomes. So salaries, it is an indirect expense. Rent and rates, again expenses. Stationery, expenses. Postages, expenses. Insurance, expenses. Repairs, expenses. Depreciation, expenses. Advertisement, expenses. Discount, debit. My dear students, if discount is given, it can be debit or credit. Discount being a nominal account, if it is given debit balance, that means it is discount allowed and it is an expenses, because nominal account debit balance means expense or losses. And if discount item is given in bracket credit, so the credit balance of discount indicates discount receipt, that is an income. So here discount shows debit balance, that means it is an expenses. And salesman commission, it is also an expenses. Bad debt, it is also a loss, but it can take it as an indirect loss that should be posted on the debit side of profit and loss account. Losses by fire, it is to a loss that should be posted to the debit side of profit and loss account, considering it as a losses of indirect nature. Then interest on investment, it is supposed to be the income of a business organization, and since it is not related to any production activity or factory work, this type of income is supposed to be taken as the indirect income. And the last item, that is profit on sale of investment. So this is also a profit, but you can take it as a indirect profit. As you take these two items at indirect loss, this profit should be taken as a indirect profit. So this is what the items that are to be posted to the profit and loss account, and we have distinguished it into expense and income. I will explain you one by one, so please look carefully. The first item is gross profit. Here is the solution of profit and loss account for the question that we have discussed now. So from the top I mentioned profit and loss account for the year ended 31st March 2008 as given in the question. This is the debit side, credit side. Since it is prepared on the single date, that there will not be any existence of any date column either on the debit side or on the credit side. Rather, it do not have any folio columns also in both the sides. We will have only particulars and amount column in both debit side and credit side. Okay. So the first item is gross profit, 1,85,000. See, I posted here on the credit side by gross profit brought down 1,85,000. And if it could be gross loss, then it would have posted on the debit side, that is to gross loss brought down. Okay. Now see, the second item is salaries. So salaries is an indirect expenses. I posted it on the debit side 20,000. Second item, rent and rates 5,000. It is again an indirect expenses. I posted it on the debit side. Stationery, I told you it is also an indirect expenses which is of 1,000 and I posted it on the debit side of profit and loss account. Then insurance, since it is not mentioned whether it is a factory insurance or office insurance, so we should take this insurance of indirect nature, means the insurance must be of office or administrative purpose. So the expenses of insurance should be taken as indirect nature. So the insurance amount is 2,000. I have put here 2,000 on the debit side of profit and loss account. Similarly, there are other expenses also like repairs. Repairs is put here in the debit side of profit and loss account 1,500. Depreciation, you know depreciation. Depreciation is a reduction in the value of a fixed asset. So depreciation is a expenses and also it is an indirect expenses. So the value of depreciation, that is 5,000, is taken here on the debit side of profit and loss account. Same goes with the advertisement. Advertisement is also the expenses of 5,000 taken to the debit side of profit and loss account. Then as I have told you, discount debit balance means it is an expenses. So discount debit balance means discount allowed. So I have mentioned here discount allowed 500 rupees. If it could be discount in bracket credit, that means the credit balance of discount being a nominal account supposed to be the income of indirect nature. So it could be written here on the credit side as discount received. But since it is discount shown as the debit balance, it should be written as discount allowed 500 rupees. Okay, then salesman commission, again it is an expenses of indirect nature because it is also an expenses nowhere related to any production activity or any sort of factory work. So the amount of salesman commission 5,000 is written here on the debit side of profit and loss account. Same bad debt, as I have told you, bad debt is not an expenses but it is a loss. So if this type of loss is nowhere related to any production activity, so it is taken to be as the indirect loss. So I have posted it on the debit side of profit and loss account 2,000. Then losses by fire. This loss by fire is also indicates to a loss that is no way related to any production activity, or if it could be also losses are made only after production, because if goods are not produced there cannot be any loss of goods. So therefore after production activity or any expense or losses that are taken place after the production activity of a business organization, such losses or expenses are to be taken as the indirect nature. So this loss is also of indirect nature, which is valued at 2,000, is taken to the debit side of profit and loss account. Remember guys, any sort of expenses that is made for the office or administrative purposes are to be taken as the indirect expenses and to be posted to the debit side of profit and loss account. Or any type of losses that we have seen here which is not related to factory or production unit, even if such losses are related to goods also, we should take those losses as indirect losses only. The reason is because unless you produce the goods, unless the goods are of finished nature, it cannot be lost by fire or it can be lost by theft. So any activity or any losses or any expenses that are occurred after the production activity, such activities or such transactions or such losses or even such expenses are to be taken as indirect expenses or indirect losses. Same wise, I took the bad debts and loss by fire to be the indirect loss, and as indirect loss it should be taken on the debit side of profit and loss account. Clear? Even if you have any other doubt that why I have taken it as an indirect loss, you can even ask me as query. Then interest on investment. See, there is no profit in the production unit. You can earn profit or any sort of income only in the your office works or your showroom, because I've told you there is only one direct income existing in the business organization, that is your sales, that the revenue earned during a accounting year. There is no other direct income other than sales. So it is very clear, okay, that any other income existing in a business organization or any other profit existing in a business organization other than sales are to be taken as indirect incomes, or you can call it as a indirect profit. So any sort of income that you find here or any sort of profit that you find in a question, okay, that should be taken or that should be considered of indirect nature, and it must be taken to the credit side of profit and loss account. So I did it. Interest on investment I have put on the credit side of profit and loss account, considering it as a indirect income. Okay. Then profit on sale of investment. Investment refers to the properties that you buy in the form of shares, in the form of government bonds, in the form of your share, what you say, bank deposits, whatever. It can be of any form. It can be of NSC, like National Savings Certificates issued by Postal Services. So it can be anything, investment, any sort of property that is in documented form you have preserved for your future. So it may be possible that you may have sold this property to anyone at a higher price. So that higher price which exceeds the cost price or the amount of investment can be taken as profit. So that profit is no way related to any production purposes or production activities. So I can consider directly this profit to be an indirect profit, and being an indirect profit, it is taken to the credit side of profit and loss account. I mentioned here the amount 2000 rupees. Clear? So these are the items where there are some sort of indirect expenses and indirect income and indirect losses and also indirect profit. Okay. Especially there are various type of losses and profits that are taken only to the profit and loss account, because any sort of loss and any sort of abnormal profit are never taken to be of direct nature, rather they are not posted to trading account. Trading account is only prepared for factory where the goods are manufactured and expenses related to them that are helpful in determination of the cost of product or selling price fixation or the cost of production. Only those expenses are taken to be of direct nature. And you know, direct income has only one item in it, that is the sales of the business organization. So any other income or any other profit taken place other than sales are considered to be of indirect nature, that you can call as an indirect income or indirect profit. So all sort of indirect incomes or profits are to be taken on the credit side of profit and loss account. If still you have any doubt regarding these items or any other item that I have showed in this specimen video of preparation of profit and loss account, you can ask me without any hesitation. So now finally we have to close this ledger account. So you know how to close the ledger account. Okay, how? We should total both the sides, and we have to put the highest amount on both the sides. So as you can see here, the items in the debit side is more. The items in the debit side is more, but of smaller amount. But the items in the credit side is less, but of higher amount. See, this is only the very higher amount that you can see here, by which you can say that the credit side of this profit and loss account is much more higher than the debit side of profit and loss account. Clear? So we can know that the debit side is lesser, the credit side is more, or you can say the credit side total however exceeds the debit side. So we should total the credit side, and being the highest total, it should be put on both the sides of the profit and loss account. So I have made the total. The total comes here as 1,89,500. Okay, that I put on both the sides as a rule of matching concept for closing a ledger account. So the highest total is on the credit side, because credit side is more than the debit side, and in order to calculate or in order to show the result that where is the deficit or deficit exists on whichever side or which side. So for that purpose, the highest total is of the credit side, and I put it on the both the sides or in the bottom of the profit and loss account. So highest total is of the credit side. So this total comes to 1,89,500, that I put it on both the sides or the totaling sides of debit and credit side of profit and loss account. So these are the items related to indirect expenses or indirect losses. Okay, so this total comes to 49,500. Remember students, while in preparation of trading account also I told you that there is no need of totaling this amount of debit side or the deficit side or put it here. I just put it here to make you a clear cut understanding that how I got this amount. Okay, you can make this total of the indirect expenses or the indirect losses in the rough column, and you can subtract the highest total minus the opposite lowest total, and you can get the answer in the form of net profit or net loss. Okay, but to avoid any confusion or any misappropriation or any misunderstanding, I just made the total of this debit side, that you call it as a indirect expense or indirect losses, that comes to 49,500. So the total is 1,89,500 and the total of the debit side is 49,500. So these two difference amount gives to profit of 1,40,000. So I have written here to net profit transferred to capital. Okay, first of all, see, this is the highest total. I have put it on both the sides, and the debit side total comes to 49,500. If you want, you can check by resuming the video. So after subtracting these two items, I get the excess amount. That excess amount is taken to be 1,40,000, and it is a clear cut profit because the credit side is more than the debit side, because this is credit side is the income side and debit side is the expenses side. So when incomes are more than the expenses, you call it as a profit. So being we are preparing profit and loss account, this profit is named as net profit, and I am written here to net profit transferred to capital account, because when in balance sheet you prepare fixed liability or capital account, there you adjust this profit or loss by way of addition or subtraction. Okay, so therefore net profit is transferred to capital account. Okay, when you will prepare balance sheet, this net profit will be added to capital. If you have any net loss, then that net loss amount will be deducted from the capital account. Therefore you should write here to net profit transferred to capital account, and even if you get in the answer net loss, you should write here by net loss transferred to capital account. Okay, so this is what the problem regarding the profit and loss account. These are the items that we have discussed first, and I have made a clear cut clarification to you about this nature of the items, that may be expenses, profit, losses or incomes. Then we have made the postings of it in the subsequent note regarding the items on the debit side and credit side of profit and loss account. Finally we made the totaling of the both the sides. Highest total is put on both the sides, and we have taken the total of the debit side for a clear cut understanding, and when we subtracted, we got an excess of 1,04,000. Since the income side is more than the expense side, this amount is taken to be the profit, and being we are preparing profit and loss account, this is called as net profit. And since this net profit is transferred to another, the last financial statement called balance sheet, so I have written here to net profit transferred to capital account, because balance sheet is a statement, not an account. So under that statement we prepare capital account, where this net profit or any net loss adjustments are made. Okay, that I made a clear cut understanding in my specimen of balance sheet video. If any doubt regarding the solution of the problem, you can ask me without any hesitation. Okay, thank you.